Dabrowski and Routliffe win U.S. Open Women's Doubles. Gabriela Dabrowski and Erin Routliffe have won the U.S. Open Women's Doubles title for a second time, beating top seeds Taylor Townsend and Katerina Siniakova in straight sets. Canada's Dabrowski and New Zealand's Routliffe, who were previously champions at Flushing Meadows in 2023, were 6-4, 6-4 victors on Arthur Ashe Stadium. Dabrowski revealed in December that she had breast cancer surgery earlier in 2024 and gone through further treatment, while still continuing to challenge for the sport's biggest prizes. After her diagnosis in April 2024, Dabrowski and doubles partner Routliffe lost the Wimbledon final to Townsend and Siniakova, before gaining revenge against the American-Czech pairing to win the end-of-season WTA finals in November. Dabrowski, 33, spoke before Friday's U.S. Open final. External. About the added perspective she had gained during the past 18 months. Addressing 30-year-old Routliffe on court after the duo's first Grand Slam win since her diagnosis, Dabrowski said, "Erin, what a wild ride. It's been absolutely crazy. We've been through so much together, and I feel extremely grateful to be standing here as a champion alongside you today. It means the world. Thank you for sticking by me. Thank you for the support, and we rock on." Meanwhile, defeat in the doubles brought an end to Townsend's eventful U.S. Open. The 29-year-old reached the last 16 of the women's singles, matching her best run at a Grand Slam, although her second-round win over Jelena Ostapenko was overshadowed by an argument between the pair at the end of the match. Ostapenko later apologized for some of her comments. Court of Dreams, a story of return and triumph. They crossed the net under a sky that seemed charged with history. Arthur Ashe Stadium, big lights, roaring crowds. For many, it was just a Grand Slam final. For Gabriela Dabrowski and Erin Routliffe, it was much more. They came into the 2025 U.S. Open as underdogs of a kind, not in ranking, perhaps, but in spirit. Their opponent was the formidable pair, Katerina Siniakova and Taylor Townsend, the #1 seeds. They carried weight, not only of their world ranking, but of having beaten Dabrowski and Routliffe once before on one of the sport's grandest stages, Wimbledon, 2024. But Dabrowski and Routliffe had their own story, and it was one of more than match points. The wounds we don't see. Gabriela Dabrowski had been through battles most spectators could scarcely imagine. A diagnosis of breast cancer had shadowed recent seasons. She delayed treatment so she could keep playing. She played through pain, uncertainty, doubt. Still, every trip to a Grand Slam, every volley, every net rush, every sunrise before practice was loaded with consequences and meaning. Erin Routliffe, at her side, had matched her partner's energetic resilience. Together they built chemistry not just in strokes and formations, but in trust. Trust that carries you through tight sets, broken signals, thunderous serves, and those moments when nobody sees the pressure but you. The match, moments that defined it. The final began with both teams trading service games, calculating each other. Shots flown, volleys traded, breaths held. Dabrowski and Routliffe found a break first in the opening set, in Routliffe's backhand volley at the net. Quiet precision. Then Townsend and Siniakova answered, breaking back. But in that flip and flop, the undercurrent was always there. The Canadian slashing returns, their fearless pushes, the way they didn't let pressure corrode their resolve. Set 1 ended 6-4. But the second set, perhaps infinitely more difficult, was where character was really tested. After an early lead, a lost serve, a scorching battle in a game that stretched into juice after juice. The crowd lifted with Townsend and Siniakova at some moments, but too often, Dabrowski and Routliffe's defense held. 5 of 7 breakpoints faced were saved then. At match point, Routliffe struck a backhand winner. Then Townsend's return drifted long. A hushed gasp, then hysteria. The underdogs had conquered. 2 sets to love. 6-4. 6-4. Champions once again. Beyond the trophy. When Routliffe and Dabrowski embraced, it wasn't just the culmination of a match. It was the affirmation of a journey. For Dabrowski, it was perhaps the most personal of wins. Overcoming cancer, the fear, the unknown, reclaiming strength, voice, presence on courts where every step counts. For Routliffe, it was confirmation that consistency, partnership, belief, even when outside noise grows loud, matters. That one can be both grounded in past loss and inspired toward future victory. They shared more than the $1 million prize. They shared resolve. They reminded everyone, Doubles isn't consolation tennis. It isn't a sideshow to singles. It's its own drama, its own art form. The timing of returns, the precision of net play, the silent cues, the unspoken trust, it's poetry in motion. And for this final, the stadium saw women's doubles at its fiercest, its finest. Echoes of the past, seeds of the future. 2 years ago, this pair won the US Open, their first together at a major. They'd lost the Wimbledon final in 2024 to these same foes. Then came setbacks, injuries, doubt. But each match had built something: resilience, harmony, a library of shared glories and wounds. Now, as they lift the trophy again, the story feels circular. A retain, yes, but so much more. It feels like a rebirth. For Dabrowski, a victory over an adversary that was not just across the net, but inside her own body. For Routliffe, a confirmation of what can happen when you invest faith in partnership, even when the road is steep. What this means. For Dabrowski, this is her 4th Grand Slam doubles, women's plus mixed, title, a testament to her brilliance, her perseverance. That she did this while battling serious health issues adds a layer no sports narrative treats lightly. For Routliffe, it pushes her further in the rankings, entrenches her as one of the leaders in women's doubles, not just by wins but by resilience and performance under fire. For doubles tennis, this victory is a statement. The top seeds can be upset. Comebacks are possible. That behind the glamour of singles, there is a depth of story in doubles, strategy, solidarity, strength. Tennis is a game of margins. The arc of a serve, the angle of a volley, a sideline return that barely clears the toes of the baseline. But life, off-court, tests margins even more. Health, identity, sacrifice, unseen defeats. Doubles players often share the court, but rarely do spectators see the lives behind the teams. Today, Dabrowski and Routliffe gave us something rare. They gave us swagger etched with scars. They gave us the kind of victory that doesn't just show on the scoreboard, but echoes in every person who has ever faced a hurdle, physical or mental, and chosen to lace up again. So yes, this was a championship match. But beyond that, it was redemption. It was faith. It was joy born from perseverance. And most of all, it was proof, to themselves, to everyone watching, that sometimes the greatest wins aren't only in titles, but in the courage to return. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to hit the subscribe button, like and share. Till next time.